Welcome all my dear student of TYBC physics class. In previous lecture we have seen about pointers and declaration of pointers or defining the pointers in C programming. Now in this lecture we are going to see pointers and one dimensional array. When an array is declared, the compiler allocate a base address and as well as compiler also allocate the sufficient amount of storage to contain all elements of array in contiguous memory location. This is very important. What I say, when an array is declared by the compiler or when an array is declared in C program, when an array is declared, the compiler allocates a base address as well as compiler also allocates the sufficient amount of storage to contain all elements of array in contiguous memory locations. Okay. The location of first element is base address. What I say? The location of first element is a base address. The size of data type, remember that. One more point is there which is also very important. The size of the data type which the pointer variable refers to is independent on the data. Is dependent on the data. The size of data type which the pointer variable refers to is depends or dependent on the data. For this purpose, see example. If examples, okay, if the pointer variable like this or like this, pointer variable points to an integer type data. If the pointer variable points to an integer data type or type of data, then it access 2 bytes of memory or it access 2 bytes in memory, assuming that an integer occupy 2 bytes. Okay. A pointer when incremented, remember that a pointer when incremented always points to a allocation after skipping the number of 2 bytes, which required for the data points pointed by it. For example, if we declare an array like this, static is the storage class where the array is stored, integer is the type of an array element and A is the name of array and 5 is its strength or limit, and these are declared as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, termination is essential. This is the example in order to understand the pointer and one dimensional array. Here, if base address is base address of A, base address of A is 100 and assume that each integer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of this each integer requires 2 bytes Each integer requires 2 bytes or 2 byte only. The 5 element will be stored like this. Suppose these are the conjective memory locations, and here we are going to substitute the value. Okay. Now elements are like this. A of 0, first element, or suppose we are simply understood this, A of 0, A of 1, A of 2, A of 3, and last A of 4. These are the 5 elements, and for every element there is value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And address or base address for every element is, suppose here 100. For this purpose, what I say, remember that I am going to repeat before that. When a pointer is incremented, or a pointer when incremented, what happen? Always points to a location after skipping the number of byte. After skipping the number of byte required for the data points pointed by it. Okay. So, 1 byte is skipped, therefore next is 102 base address. Again one byte is skipped, then next address is 104, then 106, and last 108. These are the address. Remember that these are the element. If the elements are integer type, then every element required 2 byte. For A there is 2 byte, 1 and 2. So, 1 element, this is the value of first element required. Suppose this is the basic address. For next element whose value is 2 required 2 bytes, and hence instead of 101 here we write 102, because 101 this byte is skipped. Okay. In this way the array is defined as constant pointing to first element A0, and therefore value of A is 100. This is the base address, and location where it is stored is A0. This is the address, and this is the value of the element. This value of the element, for this value of element the base address is 100, and this value is stored in memory location as A is equal to 0. Okay. If we declared P as integer instead of A, if we declared P as an integer pointer, then obviously P is equal to A, and this is equivalent to P is equal to ampersand what is this? This is an array operator called address operator. And what I say, when we declared P as a integer pointer, and A is an array. If we declared P as an integer pointer, then P is equal to A, and obviously this is equivalent to P is equal to ampersand A of 0. That means this element having the address in memory location which is indicated by this ampersand, and this equal to this. Now we can access every value of x using increment, that is p plus plus, to move from one element to other. Suppose here p is equal to ampersand a. Okay, this is the memory location, and 100 is the base address. Now we can access every value, remaining value of x using p plus plus increment to move from one element to other. So the next will be p plus 1 is equal to ampersand a of 1. This is the element and this is value, whose address is what? 102. Next, p plus 2, this next element, this next pointer, ampersand a of 2 is equal to 104. Then next, p plus 3 is equal to ampersand a of 3 is equal to 106. This is the base address. These are the address of the element given by the unarray operator or address operator, and these are the pointers. So the remaining p plus 4 is equal to ampersand a of 4, address of fourth element, and which is nothing but 108. If we look towards this, then it is found that every pointer allocate such that one byte is skipped. Okay. So from this we can say that address, for suppose this, we are going to see how it is occurs. Suppose here address of element 3, that is this one element address. What is address of element? 106. How it is occurs? For this purpose there is a special formula, base address plus in bracket 3 into what? Scale point, or we can say that scale factor of integer, scale factor of integer. So what is the base address? Base address is this, and when we are going to point remaining elements, then it is, remember that these are the 1, 2, 3, 4 are the integer type, and every integer require 2 byte of memory. So for next pointer one is skip, and hence address is 102. Now like this, but what will be the perfect formula? So here what is the base address? 100 for this, then 3, and what is the scale factor of integer? Obviously 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. That means difference is 2. So scale factor of integer is 2. That means the difference between two memory address, when we are going to scaling it, then obviously 2. So we will get 100 plus 6. So 106 is the memory address. In this way you can follow the same procedure and you will get the address like this. Here p plus 3, this is the pointer, and we know that every pointer preceding the asterisk before it. Okay. So this gives us the value of memory address, and which is nothing but 100 and sorry A of 3, this is the element and this is the memory address of this element, and this is point out by this asterisk p plus 3. Therefore, this is the pointer. Okay. Thus, we can use pointer to access array. Such a pointer accessing is faster than array indexing. In one dimensional array, two dimensional array, we see there is the allocation by array indexing. But here, when we follow this procedure, from this we can say that we can use a pointer to access array, and such a pointer accessing is faster than array indexing. Okay. Now, we are going to see some important application of pointers. Some important, not more, but we are going to see few applications. Important applications of pointer. Okay. First application, it provides alternative method to access array element. Okay. Because we are going to use array, but this pointer provides alternative method to access array element. This is the first application. Then second application is that pointer can be used to simulate passing parameter by reference, not by value. What I say, pointer can be used to simulate passing parameter by reference. Hence, argument can be modified. Remember that. What I say, pointer can be used to simulate passing parameter by reference. Hence, argument can be modified. Okay, this is the second application. Which was the first? Pointer provides alternative method to access array element. And what is the second one? Second application, pointer can be used to simulate passing a parameter by reference. Hence, argument can be modified. And third application, it can be used for passing arrays and string to function. Third application is very important. Pointers can be used for passing arrays and string to a function. What is string? I already told you what is meant by string. A group of characters, suppose welcome, Ramchandra. These A, B, C are the alphabets or single character, and when we consider a group of alphabets or character, single character, we will get string. So, pointers can be provided or pointers can be used for passing arrays and string to a function. Then fourth application, pointers are efficient to handling a complex data structure like linked list or trees or graphics. This is a very beautiful application of graphics. I am again going to repeat the fourth application. Pointers are efficient to handling complex data structure like linked list or trees or graphics, because linked list, trees and graphics, these are the complex data structure, and pointers are efficient to handling such complex data type structure. And last but not least, pointers is in dynamic memory allocation. Pointers is in dynamic memory allocation. Pointers is in dynamic memory allocation. Dynamic memory allocation means allocating memory storage space at runtime. Note that Don't forget it. Dynamic memory location means what? Allocating memory space at a runtime when program is going on run. We can allocate or deallocate memory whenever required. So, pointer is in dynamic memory allocation. Okay. Now we are going to see the last point of the chapter. Array of string. Array of string. Again, we are going to repeat what is string. Again, it is a group of, string is a group of single characters or alphabets. And if we tabulate it, suppose Sachin, Nirali, then Max, Mark, Sachin is the string because it is a group of alphabet. Nirali is a string, okay, because it is also a group of alphabet or single character. Maximum mark, max marks, this is also a group of characters. That means it is also string. When we make a table of this string, when we make or when we prepare the table of such when we prepare a table of string such as Sachin, Nirali, maximum mark, then this table is nothing but array of string. Okay, I am again going to repeat what is array of string. Table of string, that is Sachin, then Nirali, then max mark, your maximum marks. These are the string because these are the group of or collection of group of similar type of elements. So, these are the string, and table of string is nothing but array of string. Okay. Now, in order to understand this, we are again going to see what will be the syntax or what will be the declaration of array of string. Suppose character is the data type, then name is the name of array, then 3 are the rows and 10 are the columns. And here Sachin, Nirali, max mark, these are the string. Don't forget the termination. Okay. By using this syntax, we can prepare a table in program. Here name is an array of 3 string, Sachin, Nirali and maximum marks. These are the string, and name of these strings is nothing but this name. And by looking towards this, it is found that name is an array of 3 string and each containing 10 digit character. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Containing 10 digit character. The total storage space, there are 3 string and each string containing 10 digit character, and hence total string is 10 plus 10 plus 10, that is 30 bytes as shown in this table. Sachin required, though see here, though there is a vacant here, vacant, but total number 10 plus 10 plus 10, 30 byte memory is required for this table. Okay. We know that all the string in this array are not having equal length. This is, the length of this is 7, the length of second one is 7, and length of third one is 10. So when we looking toward this table or array of string, it is found that all the string in this array are not having equal length, or we can say that all string do not require 10. Here only 7 are required, in second only 7 are required, and last one is required 10. So we can say that all string do not require total 10 space. Thus, instead of assigning fixed length to each string, we can make a pointer by doing this. Okay. We can assigning fixed length to each, 7 for first string, 7 for second string, and 10 for last string. So here we can say that instead of assigning fixed length to each string, we can make a pointer to string of varying length, 7, 7, 10. This is the main use of pointer handling the array of string. Do you remember? Do you understand? There is not necessary to give equal length. We can assigning fixed length 7, 7, 10, like 7, 7, 10 to each string, we can make a pointer to string of varying length, and this is the main use of pointer in handling the array of string. Okay. Now example. This is the example. See here. So when we not providing the 30 bytes, instead of this we are going to provide fixed length 7, suppose like 7 for first, 7 for second, 10 for, then this can be modified just like this. Only 3 rows. Sachin required 7, Nirali required 7 space, and Max Marks required 10. So for this purpose, again I am going to draw the same table. Sorry. Sachin. This is the first string. Then Nirali 0. Then Max space Marks in this way we can reduce the memory space. Hence, instead of 30, here 30 bytes are required, here only 24 bytes are required. when we use the array of string instead of pointers. Okay. In this way, here name of the pointer is pointing to array of string each containing varying number of characters, and the declaration allocates total 24 bytes like this. Okay. In this way we completed the chapter, but in next lecture we will see some important programs and problems regarding to pointers and array and pointers in C. Okay. Till then we shall stop here. Have a good day.